Caesar and Gaffas. New details about the case being built against these two FARC members in the United States. Protest on the border. People hacked off at police who want to look in their bags to see what they're bringing into the country. Big meetings in the Big Apple. President Uribe meets Republican GOP candidate Sarah Palin. And strike causes gas price hike. Work stoppage in the sugarcane fields in Colombia is impacting the price of gas in Cali and Bogota.
Good evening. I'm Brian Andrews. The latest news direct from RCN in Bogota, Colombia is straight ahead.
Your ad goes here. Advertise your company or product with RCN News in English, Colombia's first English language internet newscast. Email Brian at bandrews@canalrcn.com.
New details in the case against two FARC members arrested in Operation Jaque this summer. You'll recall Jaque was the code name of the elaborate ruse pulled by the Colombian military on the FARC that brought about the rescue of former presidential candidate Ingrid Betancourt, 3 American defense contractors, and 11 other Colombian military hostages.
They're known as Caesar and Gaffas and are both awaiting extradition to the United States. Court documents obtained by RCN show the U.S. government is accusing both of them of drug trafficking, weapons trafficking, and kidnapping. Major evidence in the case is coming from Gaffas' laptop computer, which FBI agents say had information about drug and weapons trafficking, ransom demands for other kidnapped victims, and an email detailing a trip he took to Brazil to trade cocaine for assault rifles. The documents obtained by RCN say Caesar was on the phone to the U.S. quite often to learn how to use satellite telephones he'd acquired in exchange for drugs. Documents say Caesar would use the satellite phones to keep the FARC's high command informed on the latest with Ingrid Betancourt and the 3 Americans who were being held in the jungle. The documents also say it was Caesar who shot this proof-of-life video back in 2007 of the American hostages.
Colombia's president at the United Nations, where the General Assembly is happening this week. This morning, Alvaro Uribe met with Bolivia's president, Evo Morales, and expressed his support for Morales during the political crisis the Bolivian leader is facing. President Uribe also met with Javier Solana of the European Union and Israel's Shimon Peres, who congratulated him on the success of Operation Jaque earlier this year. This afternoon, Mr. Uribe is meeting with Republican vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin. Back to Colombia now. Imagine if somebody stole your dog, then sent you a ransom demand to have your pet returned. Well, that's exactly what happened in Medellin when someone tried to get 1 million pesos for a chocolate Labrador.
This is the happy reunion of 2-year-old Simon and his owners. The dog was taken 8 days ago. The payoff was supposed to happen last night in Medellin's Barefoot Park. The 2 alleged extortionists arriving to wait for the money in exchange for Simone. As soon as the money was handed over, both men were arrested by police. Police say they're looking for at least 2 other people allegedly involved in the dog napping. This is the 3rd case of a dog being kidnapped in Colombia this year.
From Medellin to Cúcuta now, in a fiery protest on Colombia's border with Venezuela. People are very upset with Venezuelan Border Patrol efforts to search their suitcases and backpacks for contraband destined for Colombia. So they lit tire fires on the Francisco de Paula Santander Bridge, stopping traffic for hours. However, as you can see in this video, some people didn't want to wait for the protest to end and merely drove their trucks through the river to the other side. Gas prices are going up here in Colombia because of a strike by sugarcane workers and transporters. The Energy Ministry says a work stoppage by farmers who cut the sugarcane that's used to make ethanol and those who transport the ethanol product to the major cities is impacting the price of gasoline. For example, some mixtures of gasoline sold here in Colombia have 10% ethanol. Well, with no ethanol making it to the big cities, that 10% has to be replaced with regular gas, thus driving up the price of a gallon. For example, right now the price of a gallon in Bogota and Cali is up roughly 134 pesos. That's what's making news in Colombia this Tuesday evening. I'm Brian Andrews reporting from Bogota. We leave you with a look at some mouth-watering Colombian chocolates from a new boutique that's just opened in the capital city called Via Dato Chocolate. Buen provecho. That's RCN News in English, bringing Colombia to the world.